Hello everyone and welcome to SHSA TV. My name is Lisa Chavity and I'm a safety advisor at the Service and Hospitality Safety Association. We have a very exciting episode for you today. I have the opportunity of sitting down with Adelle Stewart, Director of Operations at Bridges Health. We will be discussing who Bridges is and the services that they can provide in regards to mental health in the workplace. The SHSA is very proud to announce that we have partnered with Bridges Health, and together we will be addressing mental health in the workplace and any issues that surround that area. Now let's head over and chat with Adelle. Thank you very much for joining us today, Adelle. To get started, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your background?
Absolutely. So I've actually been with Bridges for the last 16 years. Through there, my background is in injury insurance, vocational rehabilitation, and bodily injury as well. And currently, as the Director of Operations, my scope is within the operational efficiencies of the organization, finance, as well as the technical writing and marketing.
Awesome. So you have a good kind of background of all these pieces that come together. That's great.
Yeah, kind of a generalist.
So can you tell us now who Bridges Health is and when Bridges was born?
For sure. So Bridges was born and founded actually in 1997. So we are celebrating our 20th year in business this year, which we're pretty proud of. With Bridges, we consider ourselves kind of bridging the gap for between work, life, and leisure for individuals. We have a large team of specialists here with backgrounds in psychology, social work, occupational health and safety, occupational therapy as well, and we are specialists in organizational wellness, partnering with employers to improve employees' working experience.
Awesome. So that is quite a good background of all different specialists, as you mentioned, to give the employers more to pull from when you're working with them.
Absolutely.
And can you tell us what the mission, vision is for Bridges Health?
Sure. So our fundamental message at Bridges is that employees want to be participating within the workforce and the employers really want them there. So our emphasis is on individual health and which compounds with organizational wellness at the same time. Our focus really is on an employee's abilities within the workplace rather than focusing on restrictions. So we pride ourselves in thinking differently about ability, and the appropriate application of abilities within a workplace are going to contribute to individual and organizational goals, including those of personal health and patient care.
Okay, awesome. And I did say that we were going to talk a little bit more about mental health today. Can you tell us what mental health is and why employers need to be aware of this?
For sure. So by definition, mental health is the state of an emotional well-being. So individuals, including you and I, fluctuate between three phases of mental health. We fluctuate daily in between mental wellness and mental stress, and that is completely normal. So we all experience stress in our day-to-day lives, our working lives, our personal lives. The third element to that is the one of mental illness. So 1 in 5 individuals, so 20% of all people, will at some point in their life suffer with a mental illness. And one of the misconceptions surrounding that is that mental illness is a tag that would follow you for the rest of your life. Whereas, some people will experience that mental health, mental wellness, mental stress, and mental illness. That illness may only last potentially as long as it would take to recover from a broken leg.
Okay, that is really good for employers to know about that too. Mm-hmm. And with all of the clients that you do work with, how big of an impact does mental health issues have on the bottom line?
We pretty much say that there is no health without mental health. There's almost always an element to mental stress and or illness when somebody is even recovering from a physical injury, whether that be within the workplace or from a short-term or long-term disability claim. Actually, 30% of all short-term or long-term disabilities claims stem from mental health alone, not to mention the comorbid factors of how a physical injury may impact their mental illness as well. So mental illness within the workplace can cost employers $6 billion alone just in lost productivity. So that's not including the $15 to $33 billion a year from lost time and things like that, including employee turnover, grievances, and organizational organizational and employee engagement.
Right, so there really are a lot of underlying things as well that can contribute to the cost of. So what does your organization offer to help mitigate the impact of mental health issues in the workplace?
For sure. So mental health is still breaking down a lot of barriers within our culture. We've been having a focus on mental health for a long time now, and one of the biggest impacts that we've been able to have as of late is introducing our mental health first aid certification. I believe it's something that you've come to Bridges to have certification in as well. And so that is really empowering individuals to understand how in their work and personal life they can have an impact, the best case scenario in just being able to have a little bit more realization of what mental health is, and on the far end of the extremes being able to potentially save a life.
Yes, exactly. So mental health awareness is really key in all of that. How do you feel about campaigns such as Belle's Let's Talk?
We think that is really pinnacle to the messaging of mental health. We've watched it really evolve over the last couple of years. We have had mental health focus for about the last decade now, and we are seeing more and more people jump on and support openly about that, and Belle's done a great job with that. The whole theory around how to implement mental health strategies within a workplace, the number one tool is that it must be a top-down effect. So when you compare it to the success that those campaigns have had with those large center of influences and people with a lot of power, you can understand how when you want to introduce that into your workplace, it really has to come from your executive and C-suite level all the way through to have that impact.
Oh, definitely. That's very key for sure. So with the introduction of Bill 39, are you seeing any impact from this? And if so, how can Bridges help?
Sure. So the impact I don't think is going to be felt as of yet. We are very aware of it, and we're trying to promote that preventative measure. But for 2017, all the rates are going to be the same because they were set, in the previous year. So what we expect people to start seeing is when rates are renewed, then in later at the end of this year, and we think that the largest impact is going to see with that 3-year rolling trend and the change with the legislation. That is really going to be seen on employer experience summaries coming into 2019, 2020, which is really hard to forecast and see that now.
And is there anything else that you would like to add today?
We really like to be considered having kind of cutting edge with what we're doing, especially when it comes to mental health, and maybe share a little bit about what we do internally as an organization. And one of the things that we're known for is having our CEO, our Chief Energy Optimizer, who is Boo Roger, a little Pomeranian, come to work every day for the team.
Awesome. Well, I'm sure everyone loves having him around, and it really does add a positive atmosphere to the workplace.
Absolutely.
For sure. Well, thank you so much again for joining us today.
Thank you.
And if anyone does have additional questions for Adelle, you can contact her directly with the information provided. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us today. A special thank you to Bridges Health for hosting us and to Adelle for answering all of our questions. If you do have any additional questions for us, please feel free to contact us at info@servicehospitality.com, and make sure to check our website for upcoming episodes. Thanks very much and have a great day.